Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Shri Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Singhadev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. 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 Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome, dear devotees, for our Chaitanya Caritamrta class on each and every Saturday. We're going to read again from, this is chapter 22, from chapter 21. And we start with text 92. And you cannot lick the fingers, right? Okay, 92. Ist das? No. Hatten wir es nicht mehr gewechselt? Hatten wir es nicht mehr gewechselt? Okay, dann lese ich jetzt von 92 and you have then, we can chant together 104. Okay. Andaranga Purna Shvaira Purna Lila Dhamma Tinera Advaisha Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. These three places are full of internal potencies, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the sole proprietor. So yeah, I always think it's cool to read from my Caitanya Caritamrta, because I love this version so much, but actually I'm much better, it's much bigger when I read from here. Okay. So these three places are full of internal potencies, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is their sole proprietor. Okay, we are, bringt nichts mehr. Okay, we are here in a discussion where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Sanatana Goswami about the opulence and sweetness of Lord Krishna. And he continues, Bhuva Ukta Pram Mentrayata Dikpala Ananda Vaikuntvara Chila Lokapala Tansabare Mukta Krishna Pada Pita Age Dandavat Kaletare Mani Pitelage. Translation. As previously mentioned, the jewels on the helmets of all the predominating deities of all the universes and Vaikunta planets touched the throne and the lotus feet of the Lord when those deities all offered obeisances. So here we understand that all, does everybody understand English? Nee, oder? Kishori Kund? Bist du da inspiriert? Okay. Okay, so here we have that in all Vaikunta planets, there we have a chief, a boss. And this boss is set the mood of this planet. So we have different deities, and they are kind of setting the example, and they are the worshipable deity, and according to the mood of the deity, he is worshipped from all the bhaktas who are on this spiritual planet. Okay, text 95. Mani pite teka teki ute chani piteras tuti kare mukuta hena anumani. When the gems of the helmets of the predominating deities collided before the throne and the Lord's lotus feet, there was a jingling sound which seemed like prayers offered by the helmets at Krishna's lotus feet. So Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is ruling over all these predominating deities on the different Vaikunta planets. And so when they come for audience, they all bow down to Krishna. And when they do so, because they're decorated with various helmets and what's that here? And jewels and gemstones, they're making a jingling sound, and this sounds like prayers offered to the Lord. 96. Nitya chich chakti Krishna nitya virachamna chich chakti sampatira shat aishvarya nama. Krishna is thus situated eternally in his spiritual potency, and the opulence of the spiritual potency is called Shat Aishvarya, indicating 6 kinds of opulences. Who remembers the 6 kinds of opulences? Krishna has. He's full of?
He is full of power. He has unlimited power.
Power?
Reichtum. How to call it in English?
Righteousness? Or rich? What do you mean?
Richness, yes.
Riches?
Yes.
Rich, he's the most rich.
Beautiful.
Most powerful, he's most rich.
Most beautiful.
Beautiful. He is the most knowledgeable. Renunciation and what everybody want to be. Famous, yes, right. He's most famous. So, and because he has this in full, therefore he is Krishna, because such a person is all attractive, right? Okay. 97. Saisvarachya Lakshmikare Nitya Purnakama Ata Eva Veda Kahe Svayam Bhagavan. Because he possesses the spiritual potencies which fulfill all his desires, Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Vedic version. 98. Krishnera Aishvarya Apara Amrita Sindhu Avagahi Nari Tare Chulyam Eka Bindu. The unlimited potencies of Krishna are just like an ocean of nectar. Since one cannot bathe within that ocean, I have only touched a drop of it. So Mahaprabhu, while he is reciting all these opulences and sweetness of Krishna, he is tasting them, and in this way he experiences the rasa, what comes from Krishna's qualities. 99. Aishvarya kaite prapura Krishna spurati haila madhuyam machila mane eka shloka patila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was describing the opulences and spiritual potencies of Krishna, in this way there was an awakening of love of Krishna within him. His mind became immersed in the sweetness of conjugal love, and he quoted the following verse from Srimad-Bhagavatam. Text 100. Yanmatyali laupayitam svayoga Maya balam dashayatam kritam vismapanam swasya cha saupakderi parambaram bhushana bhushanangam. To exhibit the strength of his own spiritual potency, Lord Krishna himself, a form just suitable for his pastimes in the material world. This form was wonderful even for him and was the supreme abode of the wealth and good fortune. Its limbs were so beautiful that they increased the beauty of the ornaments worn on different parts of his body. There's a purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verse 12, is stated in a conversation between Vidura and Uddhava. Uddhava thus begins his description of the pastimes of Sri Krishna in his form exhibited by Yoga Maya. So when we have it on the board now, 104. Krishna Radhate Kakela Svaratot Matnar. No, wait. How's the melody of the Guru Puja again? What was it? Shri Guru. Aha. Krishna Radhata. Okay. Krishna Radhate Kakela Savatma Naralila. Nee. Krishna Rayate Kela Savutama Naralila Naravaputa Haraswarupa Gopavesha Venukara Navakishora Natavara Naralilara Haya Anurupa. Something like that. Lord Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastime as a human being are the best. His form as a human being is the supreme transcendental form. In this form, he is a cowherd boy. He carries a flute in his hand, and his youth is new. He is also an expert dancer. All this is just suitable for his pastimes as a human being. Krishnera matura rupa shuna sanatana ye rupera eka kana dubaya sapa tripuvana sarvat prani kare akarshana. My dear Sanatan, the sweet, attractive, transcendental form of Krishna is so nice. Just try to understand it. Even a fraction understanding of Krishna's beauty can merge all three worlds in the ocean of love. He attracts all living entities within the three worlds. So 103. Yogamaya Chit-Shakti Vishuddha Sattva Parinati Tara Shakti Loka Dekaite Eruparatana Bhakta Ganera Gudadana Prakata Kaila Nitya Lila Haite. The transcendental form of Krishna is shown to the world by Krishna's internal spiritual energy, which is a transformation of pure goodness. This jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. This form is manifested from Krishna's eternal pastimes. So here is Krishna's form, what he reveals in the heart, in the mind of the devotee, is his most confidential treasure. There is no way to sharing this, because this is such a dear secret to the heart that you only want to share it with those who are like-minded in that state and can understand your sentiments. And now we have verse 104. And there we have it again. Rupa deki apanara krishnera haila chamatkara. Okay, nobody want to repeat? I think it would fit in the meter of how we sing the Guru Puja, but I don't get it really. Krishnera Hailara Chamatkara Aishvatite Mane Ute Kama. Okay, does somebody wanna repeat the first two lines again? Ute Kammer. Okay, somebody else? Any questions? Okay, then the third and the fourth line. Sva Saubhagya Yanranama Sunda Yadi Guna Krama E Rupa Nitya Tara Dhamma. No? Basically, we can imagine that Mahaprabhu, after revealing this to Sanatana Goswami and feeling this ecstasy, what was described beforehand, he's now so much taken over by these emotions that he starts to sing. Therefore, maybe we get a little bit of the sweetness of the bath of Mahaprabhu. Okay, let's try it again. Rupa deki apanara Krishnera haila chamatkara asvadite mane ute kama swasaupakya yanra nama sundayadi guna krama e rupa nityatara dhamma. Some ladies, somebody want to sing? A little bit too complicated. Okay, let's go then to the word by word translation. Rupa Deki, by seeing the form. Apanada, his own. Krishnera, of Lord Krishna. Haila, there was. Chamatkara, wonder. Asvadite, the taste. Mane, in the mind. Ute, arises. Kama, a desire. Svasaubhyagya, one's own good fortune. Yanra, of which. Nama, the name. Sandaya Adiguna Krama, the transcendental qualities headed by beauty. Rupa, this form. Nitya, eternal. Tara, of them. Dhamma, their abode. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And to really make it clear, the Lord appears. Jai Shri Palat Lakshmi Shingade Bhagavan Ki Jai. The wonderful form of Krishna in his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the six opulences of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulences. Purport. Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes in Goloka Vrindavan, the Gokula Lila, are supreme. He also has pastimes in the Vaikunthas, the spiritual world, as Vasudev, Sankasham, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. In his pastimes in this material sky, he lies down in the causal ocean as Kana Navashai, the Purusha avatar. His incarnations as a fish, tortoise, and so on are called his causal incarnations. He incarnates in the modes of nature as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. He also incarnates as empowered living entities like Prithu and Vyasa. The Supersoul is his localized incarnation, and his all-pervasive aspect is the impersonal Brahman. When we consider impartially all the unlimited pastimes of the Lord, we find that his pastimes as a human being on this planet, wherein he sports as a cowherd boy with a flute in his hand and appears youthful and fresh like a ballet dancer, are pastimes and features that are never subjected to material laws and inaparities. The wonderful beauty of Krishna is presented in supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan, Gokul. Inferior to that is his representation in the spiritual sky, and inferior to that is his representation in the eternal energy, Devi Dham. A mere drop of Krishna's sweetness can drown these three worlds, Gokula Vrindavan, Haridham, Vaikuntha Loka, and Devi Dham, the material world. Everywhere, Krishna's beauty merges everyone in the ecstasy of transcendental bliss. Actually, the activities of Yoga Maya are absent in the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets. She simply works in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan, and she works to manifest the activities of Krishna when he descends to the material universe to please his innumerable devotees within the material world. Thus, he, a replica of Goloka Vrindavan planet, and the pastimes there is manifested on this planet on a specific trace of land, Bhoma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan Dham on this planet. I think flies are getting very eager to come to this garland. Om Agnanatim Dasya Knananchana Shalakya Chakshu Midam Yena Tasmi Shigrve Namaha Shri Caitanya Manopistam Stabidam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupagada Mayam Dadati Swabarantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktabrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the wonderful form of Krishna and his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the six opulences of Krishna. He is internally situated in his opulence. So Mahaprabhu, we see here, even when he speaks about the beauty of Krishna, becomes immediately very emotional and tries to taste the pastimes of Krishna, what he described to Sanatan Goswami. But while he describing it, he himself becomes very emotional. Did you ever had it? You wanna explain something to somebody what was very, very close to you or what moved you very much, and while you're describing it, you experience the same emotion, and maybe you had to struggle with tears, or you try to tell somebody a joke, and before you finish the joke, you're already so overwhelmed by the result, right, of the pointing of the joke, that you cannot finish the joke because you have to laugh already so much. Hello. Come in. Come in, find out. Yeah, please. So in the same way here, Mahaprabhu is tasting the sweetness of Krishna, and while he describing it to Sanatana Goswami, he is overwhelmed by these emotions. And that's very unique because Mahaprabhu in one sense is the same Krishna, right? As he always describes. But to taste this, he removes himself from the consciousness. So he's again taken over by Yoga Maya, that he is not influenced, that he can really taste this pastime. Because otherwise it would not be new for him, it would not be fresh for him. Therefore, we have this debate in ISKCON, or amongst the devotees actually, when we have Gauranga Mahaprabhu on the altar, should he wear a peacock feather or not? What do you think? Why not? Huh? He did wear it. He didn't wear it. Well, how do you know? I mean, probably he didn't, yes? Yes. And actually, one could say that he understands that only the decoration as a peacock feather is only for one person, only for Krishna. And the point of Govinda Maharaj is that when he would wear peacock feather, he would not be able to taste the pastimes of Vrindavan, because he would be already there. Therefore, he should be not decorated with a peacock feather. But Srila Prabhupada said there should be always peacock feather on Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Why Srila Prabhupada said there should be always peacock feather on Gauranga Mahaprabhu? What do you think? Exactly. Because this is Prabhupada's mood, Prabhupada's mood is in preaching and in showing this Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, right? And this is, of course, mostly relevant when we speak or when we preach in Indian realm. But this is the case. Now Gauranga Mahaprabhu comes to the point where he describes all this sweetness, these features, when he tested them himself. And for this was it very relevant to him, and he exhibit these emotions. Now the spiritual emotions, they are very necessary. Or are emotions, do you think emotions are necessary or not? But sometimes we hear, don't be emotional. Shamarasa Mataji. Right? Why these emotions are so, why you think they are needed in spiritual life? Paturani, you said we need emotions. There's Charu. Why you think emotions are important? Okay, soft heart, but
when you are ecstatic, bhakti tears can come.
Wow, that's Charu comes immediately in, has an answer. Huh? Very good. Did you listen at home? Very good. Yeah, basically we have to discriminate between material emotions and spiritual emotions. And material emotions, what are material emotions? For example, Charu.
Happiness.
Okay, a little bit more precise. Happiness about what?
About material stuff.
Like what?
A toy.
A toy, yeah. Something, happiness about something what we got, like a new toy. Everybody has his own toys. Everybody has an idea of what is a nice toy. What else? What else are material emotions?
Anger, lust, greed.
Yeah, but also here he has to be more precise because they also transcend. I mean, you cannot say when Nrsingadev was angry that it was material. And when Krishna and the gopis are together, that's also not considered material. So give me an example. When Shamarasa? Verliebtheit, ja, aber in was? Aha, okay, Verliebtheit zu anderen Lebewesen, okay. Und das Gegenteil von Verliebtheit? Hass oder wenn wir jemanden verlieren? Trauer. Ja? Wir können um so viele verschiedene Dinge trauern. Wir können um unser Auto trauern. Oh, sorry, I switched German. We can grieve about so many different things, like our car, our mobile phone falling in the river or whatever, happened. And so, this is all things where we materially can feel all of this emotion and the whole range of it. Now, but the same things, when we use them in spiritual life, then they are very, very needed, because this emotion we try to cultivate in our process of bhakti yoga, because these emotions, or those emotions, would bring us more and more back in our eternal svarup, in our eternal form. And with these emotions, we connect to the eternal pastimes of the Lord. Because in the end of the day, in the end of the life, we only have these attachments, what we are cultivating during that life. Right? So now does it function whether Sarah has a doubt?
No, I just wanted to. Your
Okay.
question, that you said that they are material motivated. There are materially motivated emotions, and others are based on our relationship with Krishna, like the 12 rasas, humor, anger. So they are more coming, as you said, from the relationship with Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in one sense, but yes, it's true. But I mean, we come to this point. Please remind me later on to explore on this, because it's very important that we understand it, because otherwise, when we don't understand it, we immaturely try to jump on these emotions. And this is very dangerous. If we see the universe as a big, as described in the Bhagavatam, as a big bowl, a hollow bowl, where there's nothing inside, where it's cold, actually, and there's nothing inside what is alive, basically. It's like a machine, right? And then in this moment, as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu enters into this universe, everything becomes full of rasa, of opulences. Krishna enters with his opulence, with his full power, his full potency. He enters into this into this universe. And from that point on, it becomes alive. It's like a body, when the soul is not there anymore, it's completely useless. It starts to rot. Nothing is there. You can touch it. There's no warmth. There's no fire. Right? Where does it come from? Why a human body when alive is warm? Because there is fire. Huh? Because there is a spiritual fire. There is a spark. As in the universe, as soon there is a sunlight, there is a sun, their life is happening. But even with this, if it's only the sun, the universe itself is without rasa, because nobody can perceive it. It's like with your eyes, or our eyes, they cannot, they don't perceive colors, or colors don't exist in the universe. It's only that we perceive it as colors. Because the electromagnetic light is reflected in a certain way that I perceive this as yellow or orange. Yeah, that's the thing. Already there comes already the confusion. Is this yellow or orange, right? So in the same way we can understand that without the Rasa Raj, the Lord of all rasas, of all exchanges, there is no way for us to taste these things. The eyes are useless unless they have this potency to perceive colors. But the colors are not there in the universe. There's no one, not Krishna, walked around and painted the grass green, or this like this. It's not there. It's just our eyes made it possible to perceive it in this way. And when we go out now in the field, in the flower field, then we see so many flowers and we think, oh, that's so beautiful. But actually these colors are not there if we would not have the eyes. So therefore, each and every living entity perceives the universe in a different way according to his function in the universe. So for example, bees, they perceive colors, but in a limited way, others than we perceive it. Because these colors, they signalize them, okay, there is nectar, there's something, there's rasa, shama rasa, right? There's nectar. So I go to this flower, right? But it's not that they think, oh, that's such a beautiful pink. Sometimes we go out, we see this Kishorikund, how they called? Malve? These flowers? Malven, right? They have such an amazing pink, right? So we attracted by this color because we perceive it as beautiful. But the bee has a complete other understanding of it. For them, it's necessary for life, right? And the more a being is conscious, developed in the body where he's in, the more he can perceive these different rasas. So now, being in a human body, we are very unique because we're very close to Krishna when he came into the material world, as we understand here, his human-like form. When he came to the earth, he came to Goloka Vrindavan, what is like a replica of the spiritual world. If like previously, I don't know, this is maybe Shamarasa and Kishorikund and Dara maybe knows it. You had diyas. This diyas. This was like Lichtbilder. Somebody knows what is a diya? Yes. So you had that. It was a family event. You not only had pictures printed on paper, you had them basically in a little frame, in a plastic frame, or sometimes even in wood or metal. And then you put them in front of a big bulb, a light bulb, and before between or before the light bulb, and then there was the picture, and then there was a lens, and this lens projected it on the wall. You needed to have a white wall, and then you could watch these pictures on the wall. It's like cinema, basically, the same principle, right? And so in the same way, we have Goloka Vrindavan, and it's projected into this material world, right? It appears to be material, but it's not. It's just the projection ground is what is material, but the rasa in it is completely spiritual. Now, what is the rasa in this in the spiritual world? What? Huh? Yeah, okay, but what is his? Yeah, okay, good. Radha and Krishna is the rasa or the core of the spiritual world. But what is the energy between Radha and Krishna? Huh? Yeah. Which kind of love? To Krishna? Okay, how we would say it? What kind of love is this? Romantic, okay, yes, but I want to have a little bit more precise. Yeah, but this you find also in the material world. What is completely unique for the spiritual world? What kind of love? Huh? Yes, it's servant, it's selfless. There's not even a tinge of their own enjoyment. Right? So this is the basic principle of Vrindavan, is that everybody is there for Krishna, to please Krishna. There's nobody there who thinks, okay, I am pleasing Krishna for 6 hours and make my seva, and then it's about me again, right? So this meditation is constantly on Krishna, how to please Krishna, how to build up a relationship where he is all the time in the center and I'm completely out of the center. Now this is, when we hear this with a material mind, this is completely challenging. Because we all, have the experience when I give and give and give and put myself in the back. What happens? When I only do seva, huh? And when doesn't happen? Yeah, and how we say what is then when this happens? We feel what? Fooled. Okay. But what is the ISKCON term? What we say? Prabhu, I'm. Huh? No, what do you say? Prabhu, I'm burned out. I'm burned out. Right? So this is what's happening, because we're having our expectations. Now, having also material body, of course, we have to look after different things what our material body demands. Right? As we come to Vrindavan nowadays, like our Lakshmivan Prabhu is traveling there, So when we go there nowadays, the first thing what we see is what? Or one of the first things, maybe. Monkeys. What else? Huh? Yeah, but monkeys and dust even can be spiritual, the dust of Braj. It's very nice when we see this first. But when I go to Vrindavan, what do I see first? Huh? Trash and meep, 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 ling, 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 ling. Huh? The noise. And the pigs. And where the pigs live? In the sewage system, right? What is open. So, and there, of course, we have to do different. Now go to Vrindavan. Now it's rainy season, right? But it's hot, right? And having a material body coming in such circumstances, at least we need to have a fan. We're not even an AC, right? So this is what is the challenge? We may try to perceive the spiritual world, but through a material body, and this makes it difficult. And therefore, sometimes, even if we have the best intention to completely give ourselves, we're still not able because we're limited by this material body, right? And therefore, we have to sleep. We have to eat, we have to go to toilet, and this limits us. And so as devotee, we more and more realize this material body is actually an hindrance. Because the senses are so incomplete and they're so much covered by material things. Right, the senses are, therefore we have the senses. The senses are there to connect us with the material world. Therefore we have our senses. Right? Otherwise, without senses, the material world would make no sense. As I always say, the sensual world make no sense. A person who is blind, the beauty of the colors, completely pointless. Right? And if somebody, how's this guy called who's sitting in a wheeler and can yeah, he's like a brainy, like he can think so much and everybody think, but what's the use for him to be in this material world? He cannot perceive anything through his senses. So in that way, it's completely useless. And if you don't have the senses, this material world makes no sense. Hare Krishna. It's like the last 2 days I was quite sick, and I had I could not eat, and even if I ate, it ached in my tummy, and immediately it came out again. So there is no pleasure in eating, because it's only suffering. But this is how the material world works. For everyone who doesn't put it in a higher sense, who doesn't know about Krishna. Because Krishna is the Rasaraj. He is the one who can fill all endeavors with sense. And this makes it makes it for a devotee, this world, very pleasurable, because suddenly he not just sees flowers, he sees service. He sees flowers and thinks, wow, that could be a garland. And he sees, Tara sees vegetables, but she doesn't see vegetables. She sees immediately sabji. No? Right? Sabji, pakoras, whatever, The potato and the zucchini, they have no form. They are formless. But in her mind, she immediately gives them form, but differently. She transforms it. Right? So this is the beauty of the material world for a devotee. The material world for a devotee makes complete sense. It's not at all a place of misery, because he can immediately transform matter into spirit. And this is the science of devotional service. This is the science a devotee studies. Whatever he sees, he can transform it and place it on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna as an offering. And this is basically our training. This is our program. And even when we go on the streets distributing books, we're not seeing people walking around immersed in the sense gratification, and being envious of them. Sometimes happens to you when you're on Sankirtan. You start to be envious. You only have Vedasara here, but he doesn't look up. He never becomes envious. Sometimes you look at these people on the street, how they enjoy, right? They're coming. Anyway, I don't want to be too graphic now, but I had one. Okay, I try to share it with you, but don't mind, But this was so, there was in Leipzig once, was a sunny day. I'm out with books in saffron todi and everything, And there comes a man with his lady in his arm, And I try to stop them, He looks beautiful, she looks beautiful, And he even doesn't look at me. I think he did kind of like this to me. And I turned around and thought, what a guy, And I don't know if he knew that I turned around. He put his hand on the bottom of his lady, And I was like, such a rascal, And you think, they think they enjoy, They think they enjoy, They see when his lady will break up with him, then he will suffer, And you start to curse, in your mind start to curse them, they will see. But actually it's a sign of envy, right? If you on the street out there and think these people, they are enjoying so much, or you think these people, they suffer so much, it's just the reverse of the envy, right? Because we don't see them as souls. But in this moment, we see a soul walking down the street. We feel the urge to connect the soul, to connect with the eternal spiritual source. And in this way, we want to just give them a book. Now, some people are very, very good in this. This is their seva. They do it not out of numbers or position. They do it because of love. They have so much love and gratitude for Srila Prabhupada, for Krishna, and the whole process of bhakti yoga that compassion automatically manifests in them. And therefore, they can go out year after year after year and can do that. And everybody has his specific service. Everybody has something where he is empowered. And in this service, he can become very exemplary. And you cannot imitate such people. You can try to follow them. But what you have to follow is their determination, their austerity in their service, and their love, what manifests then in the service. The cook who every day stands in the kitchen and cooks, it's an austerity, right? The puchari who can get up, we had many, people who said, oh, I also want to be puchari. If I get second initiation, I promise I will become puchari. And then they got second initiation. And then they be puchari and they trained on the altar. And after 3 weeks, you don't see them anymore. Because, it's not, there's no matter in the morning, there is no matter of maybe I get up or not. The puchari has to get up. When you're not a puchari, still, you can still, even this freedom to say, I get up. Yes, I get up, but I don't have to. But I get up. For the Puchari, this cannot be there. He has to get up. But because of the special relationship, what he develops with Krishna, of waking him up, actually the Krishna wakes the Puchari. So in this relationship, in every Puchari who does the wake up in the morning, he feels how reciprocative Nrsingadev is in that moment, the one who wake him up, the one who comes for him and wakes him up. And this you have in each and every seva. And when you perform the seva over a long time, all this material considerations, when I do Mangalati, I will be seen on the altar, is cleansed off. All this, I go out on book distribution because I'm good with people. I have some kind of sales nature and I can do lots of books. Right? And then one point Krishna takes the result away. We saw it so many times in big book distributors. When one point, they're thriving on they're surfing on the wave of fame and glory and prestige. And then suddenly Krishna drops the result. Huh? Prestige, that's unseen. And then see what happens when Krishna takes this material rasa away. What do you do then? And if you continue in this dark night of the soul, because suddenly you ask yourself, my goodness, I'm worth nothing. I can't distribute books anymore. Maybe I have to become Puchari. Oh no, I cook. But if you go through this phase and say, Krishna, you embrace me or you kick me away, I don't care. I'm eternally your devotee. On the street, in the kitchen, wherever you put me. If you go through this, then suddenly empowerment comes. And a rasa, what is beyond this material rasa, you will feel something touching you in your heart where you exactly know that's Krishna. And he wants me exactly to be there. And in this way, we start to develop a relationship. And this relationship, and coming now back to the comment Vedasara made, this relationship is based on service. And this cannot be imitated. Because even if we go in the spirit, even if we approach this realm of complete spirituality, and it goes much more, it goes from gross into subtle, and from there it goes into spiritual. When we approach this spiritual meditation, when it starts to glimpse to us who we really are, it starts very, very fine, very subtly, and not all the time. One cannot grasp it. One cannot say, I track it down, but suddenly some glimpse appear on the spiritual horizon, showing us who we are or in which direction we should go, right? And this is described by Raghunath Das Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, telling us this, and when we go there, when we try to prematurely come on the stage, it becomes a farce, it becomes a theater, and it becomes material again. So we're dragging this down on the material realm. It's like we try to open a door from outside. We cannot push this door open. We have to gradually qualify ourselves by showing that we determined servants. And if those people or these souls who are in that spiritual realm, if they consider us worthy, they will open the door and ask us if we would like to come in. But in the moment where we try to kick open this door and presenting ourselves as very advanced, we will be kicked out again. Because there's no material emotion in the spiritual world. But it's our process, and it's all there. This is given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Goswamis, and the Goswamis presented it in their books to our generations, down to Srila Prabhupada. And from this medium, Prabhupada gave us to us Kal-yugis. We are Kal-yugis, right? And when we just follow the process, and I know it sounds sometimes simple, it sounds unsophisticated, it sounds like somewhere else, we're getting somewhere more. There are books out there who are full of this rasa of Radha and Krishna. Right? And we can read these books, but do we really understand it? Is there the purification involved in becoming qualified of really being part of these books? I am just like a Prabhupada says, an armchair philosopher who reading Rupa Goswami or the Goswamis, with a glass of wine, say, oh, that's very nice, presented here, right? Or do you want to be part of it? Do we want to enter the realm of the pure servants of Krishna? So that's everybody else's question. And the question in the end, with which I want to close, is, where is your heart? Where is your heart? And even if we have material, if we're not there yet, if we fall down so many times, because the material world has so many stumbling blocks for us, if our heart is with Krishna, gradually we will get purified, and Krishna will not forget us. Slowly but surely he will take us. And this is the most mysterious thing in this process. Just never give it up. Never. Just continue, and our heart will be filled with love and dedication and spiritual emotion. Now, big words from a tiny elephant who stumbles around in spiritual life, with breaking things and making all kinds of nonsense. I have no idea. I'm not qualified. I'm just, the only qualification, what I have, or the person like me, what I have is your association. And therefore, I'm asking you, please give me your blessings that I can continue in the association of devotees like you who follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Okay, are there any comments? Manuel.
You said that devotees don't feel any distress, or they just feel happiness or anything, even in the material world. But from my experience, the material world, or even I read it in the books, the material world is made to to make us suffer, to come to the point where we surrender to, or at least to some extent. Yeah, what can you say to that?
Who makes us suffer?
Ourselves, maybe?
No.
Oh. Krishna?
I mean, we perceive the suffering, but who makes us suffer? What Prabhupada make this description about different dham? Golokadham, Haridham, and Devi Dham, Kali. I mean, who is Devi? Durga, right? And she has her, 1,000 hands with all this swords and all this, and she gives suffering to everybody who want to touch her. because she is, material world is Devi Dham. So it's her energy. So if you want to take her and make her a prostitute, she will punish you. Because she knows where is her Lord, where is her master. But in this moment where you take her and bring her back to her master, then she gives all facilities. So that means when the devotee comes with the right attitude to see Devi Dham as an opportunity of seva, then he will not suffer. And even if he outwardly suffers, like we saw so many examples, we heard of most for me is, we saw Prabhupada leaving the world. We saw Bhakti-tirtha Swami leaving the world. How they are apparently suffer from a material point of view, but from a spiritual point of view, they were in the highest ecstasy. Bhakti-tirtha Swami, he said to Radhanath Swami, Maharaj, we are there, we entering Caitanya Caritamrta. And he said, Radhanath Swami or so many devotees, they saw him and said he looked initiated, he looked completely lost and wasted. His body was full of tumors. And like you saw them in his body because he was so thin. You saw the tumors coming out of his body. One leg they had to amputate because the cancer had eaten the bones away. He lifted something and his arm broke. But he was in highest ecstasy. And they asked him, how you can live like that. And he said, I would not change my position with anybody else in the world. That's spiritual ecstasy. And even a materialist, he looks at such a person going in his last stages, he thinks, oh my God, he will suffer. But they don't. Because they are with Krishna. And Krishna takes all the suffering. He takes it just away. He lifts the burden. So, yeah. It's like material world is not bad. Sometimes we say this, or we have this, like, die Erde ist ein Jammertal. I hear also sometimes in lectures. On one point is true, but only if we don't see it for what it is. Opportunity for service. And then becomes a blissful place. You say, die Fußgängerzone ist ein Jammertal. No, it's my place where I serve. There I find the highest ecstasy. I didn't have the opportunity this time to go with Navina, but I went with Navina years ago, and you see how he's dancing on the street. He's dancing between the people. Oh, Vedasara? He's just in ecstasy. He's just in bliss. When I go on the street, I'm completely afraid. Oh my God, like all these people, they will reject me. Nobody will like me. But yeah, therefore I'm not a Sankirtan devotee because I can't take it. I'm too much in the ego when I'm on the street. Right? So, but everybody has his place of service. Hare Krishna. What? Okay. It's 9 or 8. 8 means 8. Eating. You know this joke? How is it? How? 7, 8, 9. No, why 9 is afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. No, 8 is not afraid. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful day in Krishna's service, and